most creators will make content for years, but unfortunately stay broke and get disappointing results. I know this from years of experience on YouTube myself, creating hundreds of videos and from analyzing over 1,000 other creators. In this video, I'll take you through 3 examples that I think will help you make more progress in your content creation and help you get the results you desire, like the ones you see on screen right now. So the first fix I want to talk about is your style of editing, and your editing style should be based on the avatar that you are trying to engage. So I've got 3 examples here that I'm going to run through, and hopefully at the end of this example you'll understand a bit more about avatars and how to actually engage them. So the first example that I want to look at is this video here on the left. As you can see, it's a video game. It's for, younger people, children mainly. And the avatar for this type of video would be young with a low attention span and someone who just watches purely for entertainment. They're young, maybe they're eating their food, or maybe they've just come home from school and they want some entertaining content. That's the person that is going to watch this type of video here on the left. And therefore the editing style on this video, it's going to be fast paced, it's going to have memes, it's going to have sound effects, it's going to have cuts, it's going to have all bunch of music. It's just going to be very, very fast and very, very engaging for someone with low attention span, and that's perfect for this type of video. No young child or someone with a low attention span is going to sit there and watch a video for 30 minutes, an hour without any editing. They need the fast pace, the memes, the sound effects, the cuts to stay engaged and trigger that part of their brain that they've built up of having a low attention span. Now, the second example is a podcast about business, and the avatar for this video specifically would be entrepreneurs, business-minded people, and people who are genuinely just curious about building a business or making money online, or perhaps what this video actually entails of how to, scale and build a business. So the editing style for this video would be no edit, completely raw, and very, very conversational, because you think about the person that's watching this video, the avatar, they're kind of in their mind thinking that they want to be, the third person in the room. They want to imagine themselves pulling a chair up next to these 2 guys and sitting in, listening on the conversation. And if it was all, flashy edits and fast paced like the first video, it wouldn't really make sense, because imagine you were going to a business meeting, or, you were meeting someone for a date, or you were just catching up with a friend. Imagine if that friend or that date started making like sound effects and started making memes and started playing music. It wouldn't make sense, right? That's not a normal day-to-day conversation. And people who watch the podcasts want just to feel like a normal day-to-day conversation. And that's why the editing style is very, very conversational with no edits, completely raw, like a normal conversation would be. Now, the third video that I want to talk about in this example is this video here, and this video is for people who are business minded. They want information to solve a specific problem, and therefore the editing style on this video is going to be editing where it adds value. And this is a very, very important point, and I'm going to deep dive a little bit more into this video specifically to show you exactly the editing I would use if you are trying to make lots and lots of money online, like the stuff that I teach. And the reason you're probably here is to make money online from YouTube, and Alex Hormozi is one of the best at it. So let's have a look at this video specifically and deep dive into what is so good about it. So I've pulled Hormozi's video up on screen now, and we're going to take a couple of seconds to just have a look at the introduction and what this video actually entails. And when I play this, I want you to pay attention to the introduction. It's going to start very, very quickly, so let's be ready for this introduction.
We got 32.7 million views on YouTube this month. Here's how. So
you can't get a better introduction than that. It's specific, it's to the point, it's what people want, and this video specifically is about making content, so it aligns with the title and the thumbnail and his brand and what he actually teaches and where his authority lies. This is a perfect introduction that you can pretty much just copy for your own videos and say, I did this, here's how. This is one of the most simple but effective introductions that you can use. The first point of the editing is the introduction, which is, lots of flashy editing, but after 30 seconds, there's not much editing at all. All there is stuff like the thing you see on screen now, which I'll show you.
One, I would pick power, and I'll explain why. Power comes from something in the behavioral dynamics world called say-do correspondence. What that means is if I say something and then you do it, and then a good thing occurs, a reinforcing event happens afterwards, you are more likely to comply with a following request.
So you can see the editing here. He literally only adds, text on the screen when he needs to add value. And the rest of the video is pretty much him just sat down talking with little bits of writing popping up now and again to deep dive a little bit more into what he is actually explaining and to give value where it is needed. If there's no need to add text, if there's no need to add an image, he won't do it. He'll just leave it raw. And I think this is the perfect editing style for someone who makes business videos or wants to sell a product online. So the first point, fix your editing style. What editing style works for you, for your avatar, who you're trying to target, and what product you are trying to sell. If you want me to look at and analyze your videos specifically, give you some feedback, I'll do it for completely free, for no cost at all. All you have to do is apply using the form in the link in the description after the video. Now, fix number 2 is framing, and framing is how the viewer's mind consciously and subconsciously reacts to what they are seeing on screen. And we can leverage framing in order to make the viewer think and act in a certain way, and a way that aligns with what we actually want to achieve with the video. So let's take a look at these 3 videos here from one of my friends, Luke Spurgeon. He's blown up on YouTube recently, and I think a big part of it is because of his framing. So I've got 3 different videos here to show you an example of what I think is pretty much perfect framing. So you can see the first video here is what actually is the point in life. And what you notice from this video is that he's outside, the sun is on him, he's looking fresh, he's looking handsome, he's, looking sharp. And that itself is a perfect framing, because he's talking about something that is to do with philosophy and with mental health, and then he's outside looking happy, looking fresh, looking well rested, looking in shape. That is framing to a T. Now, the opposite of this would be him talking about mental health, but then filming a video in like his mum's basement or in a dark room. It wouldn't really have the same effect. So as soon as someone clicks on this video, they'll immediately see, the sun is out, they'll have a boost of dopamine, they'll see this handsome guy talking to them about mental health, and immediately, subconsciously and consciously, they're going to be hooked, they're going to think that he's an authority, and they're going to start to believe even more what he says, just purely because of his location and how he looks. It's very, very effective. And like I said, you can have the opposite effect if he was to film in a dark room with no lighting and, he was overweight and ugly and he had bags under his eyes. No one would take his advice seriously about mental health, because to the subconscious and conscious brain, it doesn't look like he's actually healthy. Now, the second example is becoming a social magnet in 5 minutes. And he's been very, very intelligent here with the thumbnail. As you can see, he's surrounded by people. He's obviously in a social situation. And again, that's framing. If he's talking about being a social butterfly or being a social magnet, then him being in an actually, socializing environment that a lot of people would probably feel nervous or a bit scared in, shows that, he knows what he's talking about, because he's actually in the environment. Again, he could say become a social magnet in 5 minutes, but then be sat in his room by himself, or have the thumbnail of him sat in the room by himself. Doesn't quite have the same effect. And the third example is, again, similar to the first one. Why you are so scared of life? You've already survived the worst. And again, he's outside. His, sun is shining. He's in the forest. There's lots of greenery around him. Nice, happy colors, nice, happy environment that people feel good about. And he tries to spread a positive message about mental health and becoming better and, thinking very philosophically. And again, if he was, in his basement or in a dark room, it wouldn't quite have the same framing effect as him being outside and him being in the sun and looking well rested and handsome, etc. So what can you take away from this lesson to apply to your own videos? Well, it depends on the type of video that you actually make. But for example, if you're making fitness videos, then have you in the gym or have some dumbbells around you. If you're making mental health videos, go outside or have some plants and greenery around you. If you're making videos about business, have a nice setup, make it look professional, make it look like you're an authority. And you can use all these different framing techniques in order to make the viewer think a certain way. It's all about psychology and conscious and subconscious mind. By the way, this framing and everything I talk about in this video and much more is all in the program down below. So if you want to become an educational content creator and monetize it using a community, I'll teach you how. Join the program today using the top link in the description. And the third fix that you can make to your YouTube channel is understanding the viewer cycle. Now, YouTube actually rewards its creators for getting viewers to stay on the platform. So when making YouTube videos, you should understand this fact and make a system that takes this into consideration. Here's what this looks like in practicality. So here is the viewer cycle which I am talking about, and we start up here at the top where a viewer will firstly watch your video. Now they'll either find it through suggested, through the search feed, through SEO. It doesn't really matter how they find your video, but the first step of a viewer cycle is obviously a viewer clicking and watching some of your video. Now the second point is they watch another video on your channel, and it's very, very important to understand how to do this. And I think James Smith has a great YouTube channel, and how he does it is very, very interesting. He will basically say at the end of the video that if you want to learn about this topic, then you can click the video on screen now to learn about it. And that is very, very enticing. It's a call to action, and people think, okay, I found value in this first video, I'm going to find value again in this other video, and then they'll go over to that other video by just clicking on screen. He makes it completely frictionless and easy for someone to watch another video. So the goal is to get someone to watch your video firstly, but then watch another video straight away after. And what this does is that the viewer then stays on YouTube. So by watching another video, they spend more time on YouTube. They watch more ads. They, have more impressions on your video. And YouTube likes this. YouTube wants people to stay on their platform to watch the ads, of course. So by getting a viewer to firstly watch your video and then watch another video on your channel and then stay on YouTube by watching that other video, YouTube is going to enjoy this. And what YouTube will do then is to push more viewers to your channel in the hope that they do the exact same thing. And then when YouTube push more viewers, obviously more people watch your video, and the cycle continues over and over again. So you and YouTube need to work in synchronicity here. You need to understand the viewer cycle and understand what YouTube wants. YouTube wants people to stay on their platform. If you are making a video and then you tell someone to watch another video straight away after, YouTube will see, okay, people are watching this video and then they're staying on YouTube because of this guy, because of his channel. We're going to push more viewers to his videos and take viewers away from somewhere else that doesn't do this system or doesn't have this system in place. And that's going to blow up your videos even more. And the more people that watch, the more people will stay on, and the cycle will continue over and over again. And that is how YouTube growth can essentially be hacked. So to recap, number one, your style of editing needs to be aligned with your avatar. Number two, you need to get your framing correctly, depending on what message you want to push and how you want the viewer to see you. That depends on your environment and where and how you record the video. And thirdly, understanding the viewer cycle. Keeping people on YouTube is very, very important, and YouTube will work with you if you manage to keep people on YouTube. Now, with all that said, again, if you want to join my program, become an educational content creator and monetize it using a community business model, this is one of the hottest and biggest opportunities that we've had in the last 20-25 years. Honestly, it's a huge opportunity if you can get it right. A lot of people are now converting over, and I'll help you to do the whole process. I'll hold your hand through it. Join the program down below. And if you want some more basics of how I would build a school community, if you're not ready to join the program yet, then you can click the video that you see on screen now, and I'll show you the step-by-step process.